Hello.
It's so eerily quiet when we
You're
start.
so weird.
But it is. It's so eerily quiet that I must be weird to compensate for the lack of sound.
Yeah, that's what it is. You're weird.
Well, I know that I'm weird, but the thing is, there's not a single person in our chat talking right now, and it makes me feel very sad. So if you're here live with us, make sure that you type something into the chat so that we know that you're here. That way we know that it's safe to actually start with 14 time wasters that you absolutely want to avoid, especially if you are strapped for time, if you're one of the people who says...
There they are.
There they are. If you're one of the people who says, oh, my schedule's so full that I couldn't possibly post to Instagram every day. Well,
liar.
You liar. No, well, it's not that. It's...
Yeah, it is.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Now you've done it. Look.
Oh, now I've done it. Now there they are. Don't be sad.
Goodness me, there's a lot of people.
Guys, before we get started, welcome to all of our newbies. I'm Starla 𝔬𝕝𝕝𝕒𝕟. This is
Mark, CEO of Samsung.
Yeah, this is Mark. He is
the CEO of Samsung.
The CEO of Samsung. I thought you were the CEO of YouTube.
I'm the CEO of a lot of things. I'm the new CEO of something every week.
Oh, he's a business 𝔸𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕒𝕟.
No, I do not want to.
Anyway, guys, happy Friday. We're going to get into the topic here in just a few minutes. I've covered this topic in the past, and I've added things to it. So a couple of these might be familiar, but I figured that it would be time to do a quick refresh because I have some things that I would like to add to the topic. But before we get into all of that, I've got some really... What?
We've been frozen like this. I pulled it up and I'm like, why are we frozen?
Can you hear us at least?
No, they can hear us.
Oh my God, I hate the face that I'm making. Make it stop. Make it stop.
It's going to be one of these days where tech is just going to happen the whole time, huh?
Yeah, apparently. Well, while Mr. Moore is getting that fixed for us, I can go ahead and share our news. Maybe it's destiny that this happened now. So quick little things, guys. You will notice that down below in the video description, and I also posted it a few minutes ago in the chat, I have put together a completely free Etsy workshop. It's only about 24 minutes long. I did this on purpose because you'll notice that all TED Talks and big public speaking events, speakers speak for 18 minutes typically because we have a retention time of, I believe it's 22-ish minutes. So I wanted to make sure that minus the introduction and the outro on that workshop, you guys are not getting crammed with too much. So I've made sure to present a lot of information in the most efficient way possible. And no, there is no sales pitch. That's the most annoying thing in the whole world when you sign up for a webinar or a workshop and it's all just a big sales pitch. So make sure that you check that out. Oh, you got it.
Yes, I did. I think
Perfect.
NVIDIA Broadcast was trying to steal the signal. It's been a poop head today.
Awesome. So link for that is down below. Just look for the Science of Etsy Success Workshop and it will take you to a private player page when you sign up for that because I didn't want to put it on YouTube. I don't want it to, I just want to keep it within the alphas. And I put a lot of time into that. So make sure that you check that out. Other quick announcements is that every Sunday we have a new video series coming out where we are interviewing some Handmade Alpha Academy students and having them share their success stories. And I'm really excited about the first one. I'm not going to go into a lot of details. I'm not going to even tell you who it is yet. Because I want you to be completely surprised and watch the video on Sunday. But we are interviewing an alpha who may or may not sell poop on Etsy.
Uh-oh.
So if you want to learn more about that, you'll have to tune in on Sunday. But it is a very inspiring interview, though it sounds very strange. But hopefully the intrigue of that little teaser will cause you to tune in. It's nothing gross, I promise. Though it sounds like it is, but I promise it's not. So, poop on Sunday. Everybody
poop on Sunday.
Poop on Sunday.
If you don't, eat more fiber.
That's true.
Or less fiber.
Yeah. So, and then the last thing is this upcoming Tuesday, I am publishing a video on how to set up Google Analytics for your shop. This is really, really important. It's something that everybody should be doing, especially if you're wondering, oh, what keywords are actually bringing traffic? What keywords aren't working? How many people are in my shop when I launch a new product? Google Analytics is going to tell you this information in real time. And what I found is that when you Google how to set up Google Analytics for Etsy, a majority of the articles that teach you how to do it are wrong. And
Yes.
I was confused.
Good Lord, they're wrong.
Because nothing matched up. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to figure out how to do this right. And then we're going to make a video for the alphas and we're going to show them how to do it right because there is so much misinformation and it's so confusing. And
anytime you can, when it comes to doing research, try to have multiple sources. The more sources you have, the higher confidence you can have that it's true. Unfortunately, this is one of those cases where the majority of influencers were wrong.
Yes.
Like most of them were wrong. And it's because there's conflicting information out there on how to actually do things. And people like to do this thing. You'll see it in every industry. YouTube's real bad about it too, where one person in an industry will do something and then everybody piggybacks. And nobody takes the time, or a lot of the time, people won't take the time to do the research themselves and come up with their own opinions. They'll just take what this person did or their source, and then it's just this piggyback train of people all reporting the same thing. It's just like with Let's Play video gamers. One person will start playing a game, it gets viral, and then everybody else starts playing the game, right? It's the same in including the education industry. It's all the same. Tech reviews, all that stuff. It's all the same.
And not to mention, if one person makes a bad video and they happen to be at the top of the influencer chain, then all the other influencers just watch their video and copy them. And it's like you copy your buddy's homework, but your buddy got all the answers wrong. Therefore, your homework is also wrong, and it doesn't matter that you copied. It kind of goes like that. So my video is going to tell you how to get it all set up. And then I'm also collabing on the same day with Pam Duthie, and she's going to be creating a video that will be teaching you how to use it a little bit more easily, because we're actually rolling out a tool at eRank that's going to make Google Analytics easier. That way you can ignore all the stuff that doesn't matter and only focus on what is important to you. So so look out for that on Tuesday. But let's go ahead and jump into
jump into it.
Good morning. I loved your workshop. Awesome, guys. Workshop link is down below. That's free. Plan to do that this weekend. Like I said, it's only 24 minutes. Totally worth it, though. And I've also attached a lot of other additional Etsy and SEO resources onto the page with the workshop that you can grab. But
Deb said, got the Google Analytics set up. No idea how to use it. It's overwhelming. Maybe we'll do a tutorial in the future.
Do it afterwards. All right, so let's jump into it. 14 time wasters. These are all things that I have personally experienced, that I have wasted time on during, just all of my years running various businesses, things that I have observed from students, other sellers. Working for eRank, we typically get to see very, very large sums of feedback from thousands and thousands and thousands of people at a time. So it allows us to really, really dive into big problems that sellers experience. But the first thing is something that I've personally experienced throughout multiple businesses, and that is trying to reinvent the wheel every time that you do something new, rather than looking at what works and continuing to do the thing that works. Now, I'm big on experimentation. I love doing A/B split tests with things like SEO. I love doing things like product tests and encouraging you guys when you say, hey, which of these items should I list? It's like, well, we'll test them both. Test it with your audience. But there also comes a point where you need to identify what's working, especially when it comes to things like social media and your paid ads, where you replicate the thing that's working well. If there is, if you create an Instagram reel and you get a bunch of new followers, well, it might be worth your while to continue doing Instagram reels and even trying to recreate a similar style that reel was created in, because that thing worked. What a lot of people will try to do is, rather than sticking with what works, they think, oh, I need to come up with something completely new and innovative. And the thing is, you don't have to do that all the time. That should be the innovation should be a very small percentage of your business. And a lot of people say, oh, I'm afraid the people are sick of seeing my posts. Oh, I'm afraid the people are sick of seeing my products. No, they're not. They followed you to see your things. If you follow Coca-Cola's page on Instagram or Facebook, you followed their page expecting to see Coca-Cola. If they start posting about, I don't know, a Lamborghini, you're going to be really confused, and you're not going to care. That's not why you're there. You're there to learn about Coca-Cola and see their cool marketing. And you don't care how many pictures of Coca-Cola you see. You don't see it and you're like, oh, shut up, Coca-Cola. We're sick of you.
No, nobody cares. And people like to try to innovate in areas that don't require innovation. Like with doing your SEO, for instance, people will get impatient. They'll do their SEO and then they'll immediately try to do more instead of just waiting, being consistent, like you said, giving things the time that they need to actually adapt and work for you. And that doesn't just apply to SEO. It's for everything. Give things time. If you're applying changes to a shop or applying changes to your social media or starting an email list, well, you know what, a lot of the time people will say, email list is very slow. You're selling a physical product. Email lists aren't things people normally sign up for or want to. There's a reason why websites have to trick people, like automatically checking boxes and things like that to get them to sign up to their email lists. There are better ways to do it that we teach you, but just stick to what works, be patient, and be consistent.
Yeah, absolutely. And real quick, we were going to wait till the end for questions, but I don't want to lose Linda's because it's very important.
We get a lot. We've been getting a lot of copyright questions.
Yes, because I did release a video, not this last Tuesday, but the Tuesday before, about the new copyright tool that Etsy has published that's going to make reporting listings that infringe on copyrights easy for big brands and little brands, for us too. But Linda had said, I'm seeing a few channels that have Etsy shops saying that they'll rely on custom orders for copyright items. I think they can be caught that way as well. Yes, that is so illegal. That is not any better. And when someone leaves a review for that item and they take a nice picture of that item and post it, then that is still going to be on your storefront and an IP holder can still see it. So
at the end of the day, the thing with copyright, he's being an ass. The thing you won't pick him up, so he's just attacking me. The thing with copyright is that it's not just like against Etsy's terms. You're breaking the law. It is the law. That's why Etsy enforces it. If one of these companies wanted to come after you, they could just straight sue you. They could take your house. They could, if you're not an LLC, they could take your house. They could take your car. They can take whatever they want to make up for the money that you have lost them. And that's not just in physical product. It's an audience that they consider to have been taken away from them. So our opinion on copyright stuff is that if you're selling copyright stuff, don't do it.
Yeah.
Stop doing it. You're breaking the law. We don't condone it. Etsy doesn't condone it. Just
all right, we're getting a couple questions. Save them till the end, because
save the questions till the end. LLC is a limited liability company. It's making your business its own thing. That if somebody sues you, they are suing the company and not you. So they can't take your house. They can only take your business assets.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so continue. And Toffee Apple Studio, just grab your comment or your question and paste it in when we get to the end, because we've got a lot of these to cover. So second one is a big one that I'm sure that most of you, if you've been in business for a while, you've likely heard before or you've gotten a message about. And that's when someone messages you and they say, hey, I'm doing a charity raffle for my kids' school, and I wanted to know if you could send me a product as a donation to raffle off, blah, 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 blah. Or, I mean, for my business, I ended up in this endless loop where, and it's not that I didn't want to help, but when I get a message every single week with someone wanting a product to use for a raffle or some type of, giveaway type thing for a charity, you can't do it all. And what I recommend doing...
You can't
do it all, but you also shouldn't feel bad about it. And at first, I did feel bad. I felt very bad because I'm like, oh my God, I need to help all these people. And you can't do that because you will run yourself dry. It gets expensive. For write-offs in terms of taxes, what we've found with our accountant, and once again, talk to your own accountants, is that we can write off the cost of materials that we used to make the product. and that goes into our promotions, but you can't write it off as charity for the value of the product that you would sell it for. When it came to charities. Now, like I said, everybody talk to your own accountant, but ours is fantastic. She's a small business accountant, and that's what she told us. So it does add up. What I always did was I would tell people who would message me that I have a certain amount of donation, like, budget that I ration out every year, and that I had already completely filled my calendar. And that wasn't a lie. I only worked with charities that I personally was passionate about. You know, if somebody's messaging me about their kid's school in Oklahoma and I live in Ohio, I've got a kid with a school, you know, that I might prefer to donate to. You don't have to feel bad about not being able to help everybody who asks. But if there is a charity that you feel passionate about, for example, our biggest charities that we work with are the Wolf Conservation Center of South Salem, New York. And we've, he will mess with everything while we're live if we don't pay attention to him. He will unplug everything. But Mark is big on the Planetary Society. We've also done charities for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Just making sure that you are working with charities that you're passionate about and not feeling bad that you can't help everybody. You can't help the world. So that was Big Time Waster, was trying to accommodate all of those charities as well. Are you good?
Sorry. Yes, I am good. Yeah. The way that I have always liked to think about it is remove the morals from the business part of it. Consider yourself like a customer service agent for a bigger company. Imagine you're working for a bigger company and somebody's asking, oh, can I get a free product because my grandma got cancer in 2012 and blah, blah, blah. Don't.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's see. That was number 2, guys. Number 1 was trying to reinvent the wheel rather than sticking with what works. Number 2 is accommodating donation requests out of guilt. Number 3 is trying to accommodate large wholesale orders before you're ready. Now, what I mean by this is, say that you decided to start selling on Faire. Faire is a website. It's kind of like how Etsy works with handmade and artisan products and things, but it's for wholesalers. And we'll use Amber Marie as an example. She sells on Faire. If Amber was sketching all of her cards by hand and was not, printing them, and she was actually putting her original artwork on those because she does pet portraits, and she received an order for 1,000 cards, Amber would not be able to do that. And it scares me with platforms like Faire because people jump on it and they're like, oh, this would be great for my business. And everything is made to order that they create. Yeah. And then they don't understand that sometimes wholesale, you'll need to accommodate orders that are absolutely massive and you're going to have to complete them. I think that wholesale is a really great opportunity for businesses who want to sell in bulk. I know that a lot of people are requested to do white labeling through, their wholesale, which is where you don't have any of your own branding. For example, if you sell, I don't know, beeswax candles or something, and your distributor asks, could you please not put like your logo on them, or could you please not put your branding on them? We would like to do white labeling. Some people don't like to do that because they want to remain,
their brand.
Their brand, right? They want to keep their brand and the integrity of their brand. But when you think about the amount of money that you can make on that singular sale, obviously you do have to.
It's a balance.
You have to shave a little off the top for wholesale, but it can be a great opportunity, but only when you're ready for it. If you are creating everything by hand and it takes you hours and hours and hours, for example, things like crochet work, wholesale probably isn't going to be for you.
It's not going to be for you.
Exactly. And
unless you're making like a little square or something, I guess.
But I always had a lot of people who would message me and ask if I could take these wholesale orders, and for the amount of money with the discount that I would need to provide them in order to create the wholesale order, I could have stocked my shop and sold my products at full price. So
and wholesalers, I don't know about Faire personally, but wholesalers in our experience outside of that platform are really flaky. Mm-hmm. Like you could start preparing for a wholesale order and end up with a bunch of product that you end up stuck with because somebody cancels an order or
get money up front.
Yeah, get get money or at least your production cost up front.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Next one is number 4, creating every single item that your audience suggests.
Yeah, don't do that.
Even if it is not something that, that fits in with your brand. And my favorite example of this, I've used it a bunch of times, but with Art by 𝔸𝕚𝕚𝕒𝕟, all of my jewelry was dragons and unicorns and fairies, and it was all very like dark fantasy themed. And I had this very specific aesthetic. And I had somebody say, you should make football keys.
Sure.
It's like around, I think it was like high school, like football season.
Something like that.
Or like you could get the people could put their kids' like birthstone choice on it and represent their kids to wear to games. And I'm like, oh, that's a cool idea. I did not sell a single one.
Nope.
And they were
we sold one. We sold one the entire like 2-3 years they were in the shop.
Yeah. Yeah. It was absolutely ridiculous. Completely pointless product. I still have them.
Yeah, they're still sitting up there. Anybody want some football keys? You can have them for $1,000 a pop.
They're still in my office.
They're vintage.
They're vintage. But, it's one of those things where they're not the expert, right? People are going to suggest everything under, oh, you should make this. You should make that. You should make this. And sometimes their ideas are great. It's great to get feedback from your audience, especially if they are people who buy your products. But often what I noticed was that when I had somebody suggest a product to me and I went off and actually made that product, not only did they not buy it, nobody else did either. So make sure that you're creating within your niche and you don't have to listen to every single person who suggests a great idea. Because sometimes your family members, they want to feel helpful. They want to feel like they're contributing. And ultimately, they are not able to add any value to what you're...
Alicia said, I make skincare products and someone asked me to remove all the ingredients except for 2. I told her they wouldn't have a finished product. Yeah, like, what's the point? Like, hey, can you make the soap, but, like, only have the vegetable glycerin?
Take the soap out? Can you make the soap, but without the soap?
Can you make the soap without the scents or the fillers or the coagulants or anything like that? And it's just goop.
Yeah.
Send me the goop.
All right. Next one is number 5, which is applying business models to your business that don't pertain to your niche. What I mean by that is occasionally you'll see a really great piece of marketing from another brand. Maybe it's a big brand like, I don't know, Starbucks or something. And you'll think, wow, this is a really great ad. This is a really great photo. This is really, look at how their audience is responding to this really great thing. I want to try to replicate this. But they aren't within your industry. Therefore, when you try to replicate what they've done, even if you pull it off perfectly, your audience doesn't respond to it. And a great example of this is for my jewelry. Once again, we're thinking like dark, gothic, dragons, fairies, unicorns. I did a sale called an fudge sale. I messed something up. I can't remember. I think I goofed something up. So I'm like, okay, let's do an fudge sale. And I did all of my editing and my photos of my jewelry, but like I put pictures of fudge all around. And the photos looked fine. Like I spent a lot of time editing these photos and putting all the fudge around my products, but there was like no connection there. It's like good photo, good design, bad overall idea and execution.
Yeah, bad choice.
Yeah, bad choice. It didn't work for what I was selling. So make sure that when you are applying a business model to your brand, you're taking a step back and not just looking at, okay, this looks good, but does it make sense? Because things need to make sense, not just for you, but for the target customer who you're selling to. Because obviously everything that you do, you want to make sure that it is appealing to that specific target audience. And my target audience, they weren't thinking about fudge. They were thinking like fairy doors and castles and things like that. But yeah, fudge.
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 Man, some good like homemade fudge. You know, the kind you get when you go to like a petting zoo and they've got that weird like fudge. They've got that weird like goat's milk fudge window sitting up front and they got the good fudge.
Nothing says...
You know exactly what I'm talking about. We've got dairy farm right up the street.
Nothing says eating fudge like petting a goat. Petting a goat.
But it's true. Anytime you go to any place like with petting zoos or farms that you can visit, stuff like that, there's always fudge. Always.
Anyway.
Cheese curds.
Okay, we'll go this weekend. All right, next one is taking custom orders after you've outgrown them. And, custom orders, they're great for your brand. They're great for growth. They're great for getting yourself out there. They're great for showing your brand personality and kind of showing people that you're willing to accommodate crazy requests. It's a good chance to experiment with new styles and new mediums that you wouldn't normally experiment with. But when you get to the point where you're already busy and you're making sales on products that you currently have, if you find that your calendar is completely overstuffed with customer requests that aren't paying off for the time, because let's face it, when you have a little production line going with whatever it is that you're making duplicate products and you've got a flow, it breaks that up when you have to stop and make this one thing in a way that's different than how you would normally make your things. And you have to set special time aside for that thing. Now, obviously, with all custom orders, you should be charging more, significantly more than what you would have items in your shop, because that you have more of a labor aspect involved in that. You're taking time out of your schedule to cater to them specifically. But there will be a point when you can no longer keep up with having custom orders and running your business. Amber Marie hit this point, I believe, last year, where she messaged me and she was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm done with custom orders. I can't take them anymore. I've got a pile of them that I need to work through.
And even after she shut them off, it took her weeks to get through what she already had.
She's not caught. I still don't think that she's caught up, and it's been like over a year.
Really?
I think that she's still buried trying to get caught up.
Obviously, there are shops that rely on custom orders, like people that do portraits and things like that. Like if you're not getting into wholesale like what she did, there are some shops that are entirely custom orders. And I know a lot of you do custom orders because a lot of times you can charge a little bit more for them and you can make a little bit more off the top. But at the end of the day, there comes a point where your shop grows to a point of unsustainability with both custom orders and your standard shop orders. And it's just not, you can't do it. Yeah, customs are too stressful for me.
Yeah. And it's a lot of communication too. It's not just the time to make the product. It's you having to communicate back and forth and approve the design and modifications to the design, and it can become more costly as you go along. So,
should have done stew meat and a hunk of cheese. I think that's dinner this week. And don't forget the big chunk of sourdough bread that you dip in the stew. Y'all got me thinking about food. We're gonna have to cut it early. Go get lunch.
Next thing is number 7, hot take, guys. Everybody get ready. This is Starla's official permission to not freak out over this thing anymore.
Yes, please.
Focusing on trying to maintain your star seller. Star seller is such a tiny little insignificant thing that does not at all affect your ranking, your search placement on Etsy. It doesn't affect customer perceptions of your business. It doesn't increase your sales. It doesn't do anything. It is a cool little sticker that Etsy says, good job. And they stick it on your shop to make you feel good. It has no other impact on your business whatsoever. And some of the biggest brands that we've talked to who have Star Seller.
Go back and watch our $1 million Etsy shops.
Yeah. That one, a lot of those shops didn't. And they make, over $1 million. But a lot of the other brands that we've talked to, they have said that there was absolutely no impact. And then when they lose Star Seller, because it's inevitable that eventually you'll lose it because you'll get a butthead customer, they say that had no impact at all either. So don't stress about maintaining it. I see sellers get so upset. And it's like Etsy gave us this little thing to make us feel good. And people, it was like one of the reasons that everybody was boycotting Etsy was we want Star Seller removed. And I'm like, it's just a bonus thing.
It's just a button. It's the same concept as like achievements in video games.
Yeah.
Like
boycott the game.
Because we had talked about doing something like that on eRank a while back, because it's an incentive for people to invest time in your product. The more time you're spending in your Etsy shop, communicating, uploading products, doing what you're supposed to do, the more money you're going to make for them, right? So offering incentives to get you to work harder pays for them. it helps them out because you're going to be spending more time answering messages. You're going to be spending more time optimizing your shop. You're going to get your orders out in time. They're going to have less complaints, so they're going to have to pay their workers less because there's less customer service rolling in nonstop because crappy stores are doing crappy things. And you're going to be spending more time trying to push your products out to these people. So that's what it's for. It's an achievement button. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. All right. I see that we still have a couple questions. We are on number 8. So as soon as we get through the list, we will start answering those, but feel free to copy them. And then you can paste them back in case we miss you as we go along. Next one, I've talked about this a lot, but I know we have a lot of new subscribers, so I want to bring it up again. Like ladders, share for shares, any of the little boost games that people talk about. Oh, let's start a little thread on Facebook. I'll post my shop, and then everybody who comments has to like my shop, and then I'll go and I'll like all of your shops, and then we'll like each other's shops, and then we'll share each other. Like, stop doing that. That it does absolutely nothing. It does not get your brand in front of more people. People going in and liking your shop is not going to help to rank your shop in search. It does absolutely nothing other than waste your time. There is no ethical way that you can game Etsy's system in order to bring more people into your shop.
No.
There are so many better things that you can do, like genuinely learning how to do social media marketing, creating reels on Instagram, commenting on people's posts who follow you on Instagram, just going through and leaving nice comments. Oh, your dog is so cute.
Yes.
What's his name? Oh, your little boy is so sweet. Oh, there's so many things that you can do to represent your brand and represent your brand personality and create a great impression. That way, when someone says, oh, I need a gift for my mom for Mother's Day. Wait, I saw this really cool shop on Etsy and the owner was super personable and she even commented on my Facebook or on my Instagram post. I'm going to go check out what she's got. That's how you build a connection. That's how you actually use your time wisely. Don't do any of these games.
Yeah, and that kind of follows into the next one as well.
Yeah. Number 9. So number 8 is like ladders, like games, boost games, yada yada. Number 9 is robo likes and paying for followers. So a couple years ago, well, it's been like 9 years ago, a couple years ago, a couple years ago, I used this service called RoboLike for Instagram. And what RoboLike would do is basically it would connect to your Instagram account and you would enter in a bunch of hashtags related to your industry, and RoboLike would go through and it would like, I think, 1,000 posts a minute that used the hashtags that you entered. And it would just go. It would go. And I got a lot of followers doing that. However, the problem with robo-likes is that you're not actually gaining an authentic audience. No. You're not...
Over time, it becomes impossible to truly interact without having a bunch of crap bot comments. And the thing, and this goes with the last one as well, is machine learning is a thing. All platforms, big platforms, are using machine learning now. And people constantly find ways to trick that. Like the most recent one with Instagram in particular is instead of just one big account farm liking your posts where it's all like the same thing liking, they now have a system where it'll like you'll pay for whatever your thing is, however many subscribers you want to have or however many comments. And then those will create accounts that will go and like your posts. And then that account will have multiple accounts behind it that will go and react to that. And then also so they're figuring out how to trick it. But the thing is with machine learning over time, they're going to figure that kind of stuff out. It's the same thing with like ladders, shares, boost games, all that kind of stuff. Etsy's using machine learning too. And while the machine isn't directly reacting to what you're doing, it's providing Etsy and Instagram and Facebook with reports on what users are doing to get around their system and how they can identify these things. And then they're patching. And like Pam said, if you try and game things, you'll get shut down eventually. It's not necessarily always true, but platforms are trying to get more strict. You even see Netflix is trying to slam down on password sharing. you're going to see a lot more platforms trying to fight back, especially now that, and I know people don't like to talk about Elon, but he's talking about Twitter and bots, and how if he gets a hold of the platform, they're going to start fighting back against bots. And it's coming. It's coming soon, where organizations are finally going to start fighting back against bots, because they have a finite amount of storage space for all of these users. They're constantly having to upgrade and upgrade and upgrade, and they're going to start fighting back against these bots. And there's a very good chance that people that are perpetrators of this crap and people that support these kind of things are going to get removed. They're going to get deleted. They're going to get banned. They're going to get fined. Whatever the result is, something is coming, and it's coming in the near future for sure. So don't play these games, because it might help you in the immediate, but it could definitely hurt you in the long run, and it's not worth the risk.
Battle bots.
Exactly. We had a couple of things that I did want to address that were up here. They weren't questions. People were asking about why people were angry. They were angry about the Star Seller thing. They were angry about the 1.5% increase in Etsy fees.
And they were upset because they wanted more customer support. But
right. If you're mad about the 1.5% fee increase, then you forfeit your right to complain about bad customer service, because it's a 4 billion user platform. They need to be able to pay more people. Million, excuse me. Sorry. Million. My brain's a little stupid today. But they also were protesting mandatory ads, which we agree with. We think that it's a bad thing to have the mandatory
Here's the thing, guys. The seller strike is over, and did it do anything?
Nope.
Is Etsy talking about it? No. But
15,000 to 16,000 people lost a bunch of sales.
But if you follow them on Instagram or on LinkedIn, if you follow Etsy on LinkedIn, you'll see that they have hired hundreds of people, and apparently they have 147 positions still open. So they're hiring people now.
Yes, they have quite a bit. There was two other small things. Somebody had asked if there was a psychological aspect to the Star Seller badge. We addressed this in not the last Friday bean, I think, but the one before that. Yes and no. So we did a study with eRank. We'll just skip too many specifics. We did a study with eRank where we had people on Etsy who were asked if they cared about the Star Seller badge. And it was something like 7% said that it would influence. I think it was 7%. It might have been more than that. It was very, very little, though. Said that it would influence their decision in buying a product. And the thing is, that's already an extremely low number. And then you also have to consider biases when being presented with information. If you're asked if this feature is important, you're going to be biased, because you're going to think, oh, well, they think it's important, or they're probably going to think it's important. So yeah, it's important. So even with a bias, the number was only like 7%, I think. It might have been 8. Pam, if you have it, you might know the exact number. It could have been upwards of 15. But it was either way, with a bias, it's still at such a low number that it's not worth the extra effort to put your focus on.
It sounds important. If someone said, hey, while shopping on Etsy, is a Star Seller important to you? For one, that sounds like 5-star reviews. A lot of people, when they're presented with that information but no context, they might interpret that as reviews, as a star rating, and then, oh yeah. But the word Star Seller, it sounds important. So even if you've never heard of it, you're likely to say, yeah, that sounds important, and tick that box.
And she had also said, I've noticed a sizable difference in sales when I lose or regain the badge. And 100% no offense, but I highly doubt that has very much to do with it. I mean, unless you're selling to like really bougie people who only care about selling to or buying from people that have accolades, I doubt it's probably coincidental.
Yeah.
The data that we have alone shows us that very few people actually care. And until Etsy implements it into actually affecting your shop quality score, then it really doesn't matter that much. I think that was all I wanted to touch on just for now.
Okay. Save questions, guys. We'll get to them right at the end.
Save your questions till the end. We're about a little over halfway through.
Yeah. Okay. So where were we? Okay, got it. Number 10 is feeling like you need to be on every single social media platform. As of right now, I am on all of them, and some of them are doing absolutely nothing for me. I signed up for a later account, and I'm making sure that I'm posting every single day, sometimes twice a day, to every platform. I've got Twitter, LinkedIn, obviously Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm not posting every day, but Pinterest, I'm posting on almost every day. And I try to get, some posts on YouTube in the feed, because you can post photos and things on YouTube. Twitter, I would say I get like maybe 1 or 2 interactions a week. LinkedIn, I'm finding new and interesting people, but they're mainly trying to sell me stuff, and trying to work for me and get me to hire them. So not seeing a lot of results there. Instagram by far has been the biggest, and the most engaging. So what my suggestion would be is to Google who the primary demographics are for all of these platforms. Do a little bit of research. Explore them and see if your target audience is actually on those platforms. And then select like 3 of them. Stick to 2 or 3 that you really push hard. Now, if you're using a social media scheduler and it takes you no time to just drop content into the other platforms, like for me, Twitter, I just take what I've already posted to Instagram and I pop it into later and drag it into my Twitter calendar, and it posts for me, and I never have to like log into it or look at it. And that's fine. You're not wasting time doing that if you're scheduling it out. But if you're actually trying to spend all of your time split up on all of these different social media accounts, I would recommend mastering one and then having 2 more on the back burner that you can either work on later or you don't focus as much on. For me personally, Instagram has been the very, very best, excluding YouTube, obviously, because our videos are our main source of finding new people. But Instagram I use for 8 different brand accounts. I've got a podcast that Amber Marie and I run for teenagers for a vampire romance series. It's a YA podcast, so we've got an Instagram for that. I've got an Instagram for a new Etsy shop that I've been working on that I'm not telling you guys about because I want it to stay organic. I've got the E-Rank Instagram that I work on. I've got an Instagram for my book where I market that and my book's merchandise. And I've got a bunch more that I can't remember offhand.
A lot.
There's
a lot of things.
But what I've noticed is that no matter what I'm doing or what I'm marketing, even these items are all insanely different. Instagram has been the platform that has helped to market all of them, especially doing Instagram Reels. So making sure that you're not doing the things that really don't pertain to your brand, that you're not seeing a lot of progress on. But you also shouldn't give up just because you're not seeing progress. Like I said, Instagram is kind of a sure bet when it comes to our types of products, when it comes for, most handmade products. But Twitter, it's just not a good platform for marketing. LinkedIn, it's going to be okay for a select few. But I wouldn't spend so much time trying to, claim that landscape.
Crappy Crafter said, I've never seen you promote your podcast or books. Angry face. Well, then you're not watching very hard.
You can find my book at explorethechannel.com. It is a science fiction book.
Yes, and it is very good.
I just published it around Christmas time. So, yes. And it is book 1 of a series that I'm working on. As soon as I have more time, I'll write the second one.
We busy.
All right. So go read that and let me know what you think.
Yeah, for real.
It's on Amazon. And
tag her on her Instagram when you're done. Take a cool picture.
Yeah. So number 11 this is my favorite. This is the one that I think I get the most questions about, especially when I talk about how much I post on social media. I have 8 platforms that I post across, and I've got all the other 8, 7, however many social media accounts I have. And then I also have multiple Instagrams. I've got 2 YouTube channels. And people always ask me, how do you keep up with all of that? Well, let me tell you a couple little secrets, okay? First of all, I don't come up with the content that day. So if you are sitting there and you're like, I need to post to Instagram today, what am I going to post?
You're already way too behind.
Yeah, you're already behind, okay? Second thing is that I always make sure that I have that content scheduled out in advance. If you see a post from me on social media,
she's made it a while ago.
I likely scheduled that post like 2 months ago. Okay. Yep. I'm not sitting there posting every single day.
Yeah. We're currently scheduled out till what, June?
No.
June?
No, like mid-May.
No.
June.
That's the end of the month task, is to schedule out till June. But I scheduled what you're seeing now from April. I scheduled out 2 months ago. So I'm just now to the point where I'm running out. But what I recommend doing is, for your social media, you need to pick like a day or 2 days to sit down and plan out your content calendar. And the reason that I say you're going to need 2 days to do that is, for one, it's going to take you a lot of time to create the content. But for two, you need to really narrow down on both your message and your target audience and what you're trying to do. And a lot of times this is going to require you to look at competitors, look at what other people are posting, diving into their accounts, checking out the hashtags that they're using, looking at the photos that are doing well, looking at the reels that are doing well. And then sitting down with pen and paper and saying, okay, every Monday, this is the type of content I'm going to post. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll notice that I think it's every Monday I share SEO tips. Mondays and Tuesdays I do SEO tips. No, Mondays I do SEO. Tuesdays I shout out the new video. Wednesdays we do motivation.
Anyway.
Yeah. So I have content pillars, basically. I choose what my topics are going to be for those days. And I make sure that I am creating a theme. For you guys, you could make sure that every Monday you're doing Motivation Monday, where you have your products as not the focal point of the post, but you're posting things that are motivational to your niche. And then Tuesday, maybe you do a product showcase where you choose a product from your shop and you make sure that that is the only item in the photo. It is got its own spotlight. And then Wednesdays, you do a creator spotlight where you're showing off yourself, your workspace, things, you making products. Then maybe you do a work in progress Thursday where you show yourself actually creating. I don't know, Friday, you do a collection of products, yada, yada. So just making sure that you are building out your content ahead of time and planning a day for that. And then getting on a social media scheduler. If you use Facebook, if you use Instagram, then you've already got a great scheduler available to you in the Facebook Business Suite. You can, as long as your accounts are connected, you can schedule all from there, or you can use Canva Pro. They've got a scheduler, or you can pay for a scheduler like Later, which is what I personally use. So
yes, Crappy Crafter's about to buy your book. Does Amazon have the good copies yet, or do they have the...
It's somebody reselling the hardbacks through an external distributor. I can't guarantee the time frame that it'll arrive, but I know that the paperback will be Amazon Prime.
Yeah, paperbacks are Amazon Prime. You can also order the good cover backs on her actual website.
No, you have to email me.
Oh, you have to email her?
Yeah, if you want a hardback signed, just email me at starla@explorethechannel.com.
There you go. And you get yourself a signed copy.
Yeah. All right. So
let's continue on. That one took a while.
Yeah, well, that one was important. That's probably the most important one that I have because I get a lot of questions on it. So
it's 12:45. Let's try to blast through the last three.
All right. Number 12 is link blasting on social media. And Instagram as well. I noticed that a lot of people that I follow on Instagram, they'll showcase a product and then they'll put their link in their Instagram description. And honey, you can't click that. That's not that big long Etsy link that you just put in your Instagram description. That's not clickable. You need to put your Etsy shop link into your bio and say, to buy this product, visit my shop. Link in bio. If you're putting your full link there, nobody's going to copy that and paste it on their phone. You can't click it. So don't do that anymore. But link blasting on social is where you grab a link to a product in your Etsy shop and you slap it on your Facebook page and you slap it in some Etsy groups, and you're not creating a unique image to go along with it. You're just blasting that link everywhere. Look at my thing. Look at my thing. Look at my thing. Look at my thing. That gets so old. Nobody's going to pay attention to it. It's just noise. It's newsfeed clutter that no one wants to spend time exploring. It's not a creative way to showcase your product. If you want a creative way to showcase your products, go into Canva and check out some of their amazing templates that they have. They have Facebook post templates. They've got video templates. You can add animations, Instagram templates, any type of social media post, story, reel that you want to create. You can find a fantastic template where you can just drag and drop in your images, videos, whatever you want, and post that. And then you put your link either in the description, if it's Facebook or a platform that supports having a link that is active and clickable. Or for Instagram, you can say link in bio, unless you're using your stories, and then you can click into the stickers. It's a little smiley face. Click that, and there's an option to add a link directly into your stories now. It's a newer feature that we have. So stop link sharing, stop link blasting. Make sure that you're posting something interesting along with that link. Make sure that you're creating your own creative photo to go with that. That's the good way to advertise because it draws attention.
A lot of platforms will ban you for link spamming now anyway.
Yeah,
like even Discord has options.
I was gonna say, I think you get flagged if you do it too much. Next one is another hot take, and one that you probably wouldn't expect from me, but checking your SEO stats and analytics every single day, big waste of time. You don't need to check your analytics every single day. Analytics can be checked weekly and monthly. If you create something brand new and you're really trying to narrow down on who is in that moment looking at what you're doing, for example, when we do our Google Analytics video this upcoming Tuesday, that's an exception. But for the most part, you don't want to be in there just staring at your stats every day.
No.
Come back to it. That way you have a few days to analyze, because when you're only focusing on one day, you're not seeing the big picture and you're not going to be able to identify any patterns that are actually going to be useful to you. So quit doing that. Pick a day, maybe like every Thursday.
Yeah, do it on Thursday.
Yeah, check your stats. And then the very last one, final hot take, number 14, hot take.
Hot take.
Is taking advice from people who either aren't at your level. So maybe it's, I don't know, your weird aunt who also is trying to start an Etsy shop, but she's got one sale and all of her photos are awful. And
your dad who used to be in marketing 30 years ago.
Yeah. And he's trying to give you tips and he has no idea how to use social media.
Yes.
Or listening to Etsy gurus, business gurus who don't know what they're talking about, who don't already do or have experience in the field that you're trying to gain proficiency in.
Yes.
This is a big problem because what we're noticing is that people are creating content on everything where they'll say, okay, my subject is business. And now I'm going to do, I'm going to read this 5-minute blog about how to do this on Amazon and how to do this on Etsy and how to do this on whatever, Shopify. And they've never had any of those types of businesses, but they read a quick blog on it and they're able to make a cool video and use a bunch of effects. And it makes them seem like they know what they're talking about. But in reality, they're just regurgitating something that they read that may or may not be accurate. Now, the reason that I'm bringing this up specifically today is because I found this while trying to create our Google Analytics video that's coming out on Tuesday. There has been so much conflicting information. People saying, I don't know how to do this. I'm super confused. Nothing's making sense. And I'm like, okay, why is there no good information on this? What am I missing? What isn't matching up? And then I realized that all of the advice that's out there is conflicting, which means that people are either copying each other or they're not doing their research beforehand and actually learning how to do this correctly before they start teaching it. Yeah. So just make sure that you're actually investigating who you're learning from and you're not taking advice from everybody.
There's a reason why if you read any billionaire self-help book, like how to be successful, how to get rich, starting your own business. The one thing that they will all say, even the toxic ones and good ones, bad ones, all of them, surround yourself with people that are better than you and remove the people in your life that are toxic. That's like the number. And that doesn't mean you have to get rid of your family members, but don't take their advice. Don't take advice from people who have no idea. Like if somebody, I've been in a brick and mortar store selling for 30 years. They probably have still no idea how to sell online. Etsy, listen to other people who are successful either in the field that you're in or on the platform that you're selling on.
All right, guys. If you had questions way, way, way up above, feel free to grab those, copy them, paste them, and we will come back to them. And oh my goodness, Crappy Crafter, I love you. Give me a second.
She ordered one on Amazon already.
I know. This isn't the version of the hardback that is being sold. This one has a dark cover, but hardback, paperback. This is my book, The Channel. It's a sci-fi. It's for ages 16 and up due to a little bit of gore and a lot of bad words. But I invested a lot of time into this book, and I would absolutely appreciate if you guys ordered it. It's only
Amazon. Not because we need the money. We don't need money. We're good. We're good there.
Well, yeah, you don't make money on publishing. You don't make money on books.
Yeah, anybody that's published a book.
Yeah, I don't get you. I think I make $1 on the paperbacks, and they sell for 20. Amazon gets the money for my book, but it makes me feel really, really good, and it motivates me to do something creative that I've never done before.
Can I get a paperback signed as well? Yeah, you can just email.
Starla at 𝔸𝕚𝕚𝕒𝕟.com, and it might take a little longer because I don't currently have paperbacks in stock. This is my crap copy that I highlight things in. But yeah, feel free to send me an email and I can get you a copy.
All right. Let's scroll up a little bit, get your comments in.
Why am I? Oh, it refocused. I'm like, why am I blurry?
And somebody said something about Barnes and Noble. You can also order her book through Barnes & Noble. You can also, if you want to be real cool, go in and instead of buying it online, request it in store and have it. It takes a little bit longer, but it does good in the long run for the publishing. If enough people ask, it'll get in store.
It's also on Walmart.com. You can buy it on Barnes & Noble. It's available on Nook and Kindle as well. But you can walk into your Barnes & Noble and request The Channel by Starla Moore, and they'll order it in store for you.
What do you use to schedule your posts?
I use Later for Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and TikTok. And I use the Facebook Business Suite specifically for Facebook and Instagram because I already have it and I already know how to use it. I know that it's weird that I do that, but I technically don't have to. I could totally do it from Later, but Later is what I use.
How do you feel about Linktree? It's all right.
Nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with Linktree. Pretty much everybody has one now.
Yeah, Linktrees are great. Linktree's cool. I have a website that I use for all my sign-up pages called Lead Pages, where I made my own Linktree that's in my Instagram, and it gave me a little bit more capability. But Lead Pages is very expensive, so if you don't have a use for it, just use Linktree because I believe it's free. There's still Linktree branding on it, but it's free, I think, right? All right.
Yeah. Imagine being talented enough to publish a book. Can't relate. Oh, quit.
You stop.
You absolutely can. Okay, so what's the deal with Etsy copyright on vintage items such as old Disney shirts?
All right. Here is my take. However,
disclaimer, we're not legal experts.
Not a lawyer, not a legal expert. I highly recommend that you pop over to the website justanswer.com and pay a couple dollars to ask a lawyer. My interpretation of it is that if it is vintage, technically by law, it is okay. However, Etsy themselves, if they notice that the listing has been reported by Disney for infringement, they don't care if it's vintage. They will take it down and give you a strike, and you really can't dispute it because they're always going to side with that larger party. So on Etsy, probably not worth it.
Yeah, probably not worth it. I sold, excuse me, I sold on Etsy from 2008 to 2011. In fall 2021, I reopened my Etsy store. E-rank averages everything from my start date of 2008. Does Etsy do this also? It's hurting. Is this hurting me on any of the Etsy algorithms?
No, it's not hurting you on the Etsy algorithms. The only thing that I will say is that, you might have occasionally a shopper who wonders why your shop was opened, why it's been open for so long if you don't hardly have any sales. But for the most part, I believe actually we did this in our survey that we did of Etsy buyers where they had a pop-up come up while they were shopping and it asked them like what's important to them. And I believe that the length of time a shop has been opened was the least important thing to them. They didn't care. So you might have like one or two butt heads, but you should be fine. I wouldn't even worry about it.
Crappy Crafter said, Kindle's $9.99, paper's $19.99, and the hardcover is $30. It's not supposed to be $30. It's because scalpers, literally on the first day her book came out, went and bought a bunch of the books and sold them for a higher price before the Amazon had even received them.
You can email me at Starla at Handmade, or Starla Handmade, Starla at Explore the Channel for a hardback. And if you're in the US, it'll be $25 shipped. So that includes your shipping price. Because I sell them for the price that they're supposed to be sold for. And you get it signed.
Dulcie said, when you use Later for Pinterest, does it allow you to type in Pinterest tags when you organically post in when you organically post in Pinterest?
So for Pinterest in Later, you'll be able to select your board that you want it to pin to. You can title it, which obviously you want to keyword optimize your title, and then you have your description. I have experimented with adding hashtags into the description. I didn't know that. Can you add tags into pins? Because there isn't that option for Later. And you also can't add alt text. I know that Pinterest has an alt text option, and you can't add alt text, but you can still add your link in there as well. So I'm kind of experimenting with it. I've had a couple repins, but nothing significant. You guys can follow that if you want to. I believe the link is down below somewhere. I think I've got like a oh crap or oh snap or social, and all of the new alpha links are down there. But if not, it's just at Handmade Alphas on Pinterest.
I am such a perfectionist. I'm holding back on starting properly on social media until all my products are perfected. I passed 500 sales last week with virtually no social media. Am I being silly? Yeah.
Yeah, get your stuff out there.
You're being silly. Get it out there.
Get it out there.
Don't worry. The thing is, no matter what, there's always going to be somebody that likes your product, and there's always going to be somebody that doesn't like your product. Just get it out.
Yeah, get it out there. There's no reason to wait. Start now. It is better to start badly than not to start at all and wait until everything's perfect, because odds are you will feel like you will never feel ready. Just throw some stuff out there. Your first posts, most people aren't going to see those in the long run anyway. So it's better to get established. Get your kind of posts that'll be ignored out first, because those are going to be all the way at the bottom of your account, and work your way up.
Question about sales tax. Kind of confused. Do we have to collect and submit it ourselves, or does Etsy handle that? Anyone please help? Pretty sure Etsy does all that for you.
Yeah. For states.
For states that require it.
For states that require it.
Yeah. Let's see. Asking charging more for custom, like substituting charms for charm bracelets, adding changing wire colors for wire yarmulkes for women. Not sure about charging more. I mean that's really, at the end of the day, it's up to you.
That sounds
if
like
you want to charge
personalization
more
to me.
Yeah, I mean you can charge if it doesn't take. I'm always on the line of, like, if it doesn't take a lot of effort, just have like a standard customization fee. And then if it does take a lot of effort, then maybe have a custom listing where they have to, like, pay more. Have you ever tried using the publishing features in Canva? I don't know if it's a pro feature available.
It's a pro feature.
It is, yeah.
It's you can schedule through Canva. I personally haven't experimented with it because I post to so many platforms. I feel like it would just get overwhelming, and I was already familiar with Later. I've actually got a video. We did a Friday Bean episode of, I think it's called like how I scheduled out a bunch of social media posts using Later. I would check that out, but yeah, I've definitely heard that people can do it. I just haven't.
Would adding a tag to your listing affect it in search? I have a listing that is doing well, but I've seen different uses for it and would like to add it in a tag.
Adding one in shouldn't be bad. The problem is when you remove something that you could have been being found for through broad matching.
That might have been the banger.
Yeah, you never know how Etsy's broad matching things, because your first tag, I don't know, might be sterling silver, and your very last tag might be birthstone necklace, and maybe Etsy's broad matching those together, and you didn't think that birthstone necklace was bringing you any traffic, but Etsy was broad matching sterling silver with necklace, combining those to make sterling silver necklace, and that's what you were actually ranking for, and you didn't realize it, and you removed birthstone necklace thinking it wasn't bringing you any traffic, and you sub out that term for a different term, and then suddenly your sales drop off because there's no connection between those. Even though they're not contained within the same tag, Etsy broad matches all of the words that you're using in your tags. So
Blue Star had added. I saw your question earlier as well.
Yeah.
Can I add fan art stickers that I took down from my shop as freebies and orders?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Yes, gifts are fine. You can give them to people.
Yeah, I, however, would not promise a specific if you're going to be giving them something, because then it can be considered as part of the
sale.
The sale.
Make it a surprise.
Yeah, keep it a surprise, and you're fine.
Yeah.
I would like to ask, when listing an item, does the category, not the category of the shop, affect the listing ranking?
No. So categorization is just where within Etsy's filtering it's going to fall. So, for example, if you have categorized your item, or if you're talking about your attributes, Etsy kind of views those as extra tags. So it's important to fill them out as accurately as possible. If you've categorized your item as for women, and somebody is searching for t-shirt for women, you're more likely to show up in searches for t-shirt for women, which would mean that you are more likely to rank in searches for t-shirt for women. Ranking, we have to remember that ranking isn't, your listing doesn't rank. Your listing ranks for keywords. So you rank for different keywords. Every single keyword and keyword combination that you have a different opportunity to rank. So if you've got a bunch of keywords in your listing, then that's a lot of different opportunities to rank. Your attributes are just another opportunity to be found in more searches, because you're telling Etsy what your product is. Therefore, people who are searching for that type of product, Etsy's more likely to recommend it. So the short answer is yes, attributes are important for ranking. Just don't play games with it. Just fill them out as accurately as possible. And I recommend, guys, if you're watching, live, I know I shouted this out a little bit ago, but I have a free workshop linked down below if you expand out the video description.
It's a banger.
It is probably one of the best free things that I've ever done. There's no sales pitch. It is 24 minutes of just insane, awesome Etsy content, specifically talking about search ranking, how it works, and what all of the big shops do in order to rank higher. If you've ever seen a shop that is on page 1 for every single search, and they have bad SEO, this workshop is going to explain why. So make sure that you check that out. I was a lot better spoken during that than I am today. It's Friday.
We're tired. We haven't gotten good sleep all week.
Our kid came to our bedroom at 5 o'clock in the morning.
It was 6:45.
Okay.
It was like that moment when you're woken up 45 minutes before your alarm is going to go off.
And she went,
I saw an owl fly away.
I saw an owl. We're like, why are you awake?
Congrats. Go back to bed. We don't wake up for 45 more minutes. So we're exhausted today. Crappy Craft just said, I thought scalpers only doing electronic or video game stuff. I didn't know No, there are scalpers for everything. There's a chance that there's some of you that have had your products resold. The thing is, and why people get in trouble on Etsy is not a resale platform. Etsy is an original product platform. So if you list anything, you're saying that it's an original product, a vintage product, or
print on demand.
Yeah, print on demand. So
or digital.
So that falls under a original product.
Brands use bots to search for keywords and file DMCAs. The bots can tell vintage from infringement.
They cannot. They're getting better at it. They're getting better at it, because there was a lot of issue with YouTube in particular, where we had it happen to us 5 or 6 times, to the point where we actually had to threaten to sue people over music DMCAs and things that were you had the rights to,
that we bought.
Because the issue is sometimes you do get the rights. Somebody was talking about getting the rights from an author to use their work. Yeah, sometimes you can get the rights and those bots can't tell the difference. So if you ever do get a claim on something that you know for a fact you have the rights to, make sure you dispute it and you keep the proof. Keep messages, licenses, whatever that they gave you as proof that you own the rights to use their product. Make sure you keep that stuff, because you can dispute these kind of things.
Hey, if my book ever gets famous, email me. I'll let you make products based on my book.
Exactly.
You just got to send me one.
You got to ask.
Yeah, you got to ask, and you got to send me one so I can represent your brand.
Do you suggest using Pinterest to promote Etsy? If so, can you guide us step by step what you suggest us to do for Etsy promotion?
So step by step, no, 'cause it sounds like an entire course worth of material. Do I recommend it? Yeah, totally. Pinterest, you have to think about what Pinterest is for. Pinterest is a place where people pin ideas, they pin dreams, and they pin aesthetics. They pin things that they want to return to later. So if they're planning, maybe they want to have a beautiful wedding, they have a wedding Pinterest board and they plan everything that will be there for their dream wedding. And maybe they don't even have somebody lined up to marry, they just know what they want it to look like. People do that with their homes. I've got a dream home board. Do you guys have a dream home board where you pin all the stuff that you would love to do? Home improvement ideas, products, crazy wall art, crazy designs, things that you would love for a dream home. I've got one of those. People like to pin things for inspiration. Party ideas. I've got a party board where I pin anything party related. That way, if I've got to plan a birthday party, whether it be for my kid, his birthday, yada, yada, I've got a board of everything that I'll ever need. So if your products are something that someone can plan anything with, whether that be an outfit, their home, or if it's just a cool aesthetic photo that you can take of your product. For example, maybe if I was marketing my book, I take a picture of the book in a flat lay with a bunch of cool trinkets laying around it. And because it's aesthetic and it's appealing and the photo looks really, really nice, it's more likely to be pinned, just because the photo looks great. So do I think that it would be great for business? Yes. But if you're not doing it correctly, you're not going to see results. And that's the same with any social media platform.
I heard social media platforms see automatic posting as bot work and it hurts you. Is that true?
It used to be. It used to be
machine learning.
It used to be a thing where if you scheduled your posts, your visibility would be lower. But I think that platforms have realized that businesses rely on scheduling to be able to function. I personally have not noticed a difference between scheduling them and posting them myself manually. So I think that that's something that has been kind of rooted out as the realization that brands need to be able to schedule has, become a thing.
What does it mean if my conversion rate has dropped? Does this mean that my competition is doing a better job than me? No.
Conversion rate has nothing to do with your...
Nothing at all.
So
it's how many people are being converted from seeing your shop, seeing your listing, whatever. I don't know what particular conversion rate you're referring to.
It'll be shop, I believe.
Yeah, shop conversion rate. So it'll just be basically any time that somebody visits your shop. Is it visits your shop or sees your shop in a listing in a search?
I believe it's visits your shop.
Yeah, I can't remember. We have so many different conversion rates we follow. And how many of those people actually result in a sale?
Yes.
How many of those, like if 10%, if you have 100 people, 10% is your conversion rate, then 10 people checked out.
A 1% conversion rate, if you like the standard for business is to have a 1% conversion rate. Yes. So, but it also depends by industry. 1% is like the super vague standard. So if you can get a 1% or more, then that's pretty good.
In Pinterest, when you go to to post a pin on the app, after you fill out your description, it takes you to a page where it lets you tag the popular search tags. That's what I was wondering.
Then no. Then you lose that capability on later, which might be why my pins aren't doing that good.
You suck.
I know.
What was that platform for legal advice, and is it only for U.S. law?
No, I think that you could ask anywhere. I would check. Just make sure. Say, hey, I'm in the UK. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But it would be justanswer.com.
Do you have any thoughts on using Tailwind as a scheduler?
Here's the thing. Schedulers all do different things. So just make sure that it supports the platform that you want to post to. Some of them don't support TikTok yet. Some of them don't support video posts to Pinterest yet.
And just make sure you trust the platform. Make sure it's somewhere where you feel safe inputting your information into.
Tailwind, Hootsuite, Later. What's the other one? Planoly? Is that a planner? No,
I don't know. Who the hell knows?
Planoly? Is that a planner? Or is that a scheduling app? I know too many brands. But they all do the same thing. You just need to make sure that they support the social media platforms that you want to post on before you sign up.
Would love to generate a monthly CSV for sales in my state with sales tax. For some reason, the downloadable for all sales shows the addresses, but the sales tax column is blank.
I think I've heard this problem before, but I can't remember a solution. Take that post it in the Handmade Alpha Facebook community. Link is down below.
Somebody should be able to answer for you.
Yeah, because I can't remember offhand.
Especially since we've switched over to a POD kind of sales. We don't really pay attention to the...
Well, it's an Amber.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's our shop, but we don't make the money off of it.
I was going to say, we're building another one, though, so...
Yes, probably 2, actually.
Yeah, because you want to build one, too.
Yeah, I'm going to have one that nobody's ever going to know about. What do you think of Minta?
I have no idea what that is. Never heard of it in my life.
Never heard of that before.
Feel free to elaborate, though.
Elaborate.
Does
worldwide shipping affect your rank on Etsy? I've noticed an increase in sales since I've opened up, even though I hardly get any international orders.
No. You're being seen by more people, but...
Let's see.
I mean, offering international shipping is fantastic, but it doesn't have any effect on your ranking.
Might affect the amount of sales you have if you have an audience in a country that you didn't know you had.
But she said that she doesn't get a lot of sales that way.
Yeah, no.
So
I use Pin Generator to make and schedule my Pinterest posts because I'm too lazy to design them myself. I love it.
Cool. Oh my God, your daughter saw an alien. Oh, I hate that movie. The fourth kind, sixth kind, fourth kind, third kind?
Getting a lot of...
Fourth kind.
Minta generates Etsy videos for your listings.
Cool. No opinion, but it sounds cool. I'll check it out.
I'm going to refocus this camera when I ask this question. What do you guys think of shop gift cards as a listing on your shop? Caitlin Minimalist does this in her shop along with upgraded shipping listings.
Caitlin Minimalist is $1 million seller. So if she's doing it, you know, I'm sure that it's something that people know her brand and like what she creates enough that they would love to give a gift card to a family member. So I think it's great. It's not going to have a negative impact. I will say that don't expect, if you don't already have shop traffic, maybe don't expect that to be like your breadwinning listing, because it might not end up ever selling, but it's cool to offer.
How long have you guys been married? 11.5 years.
We got married when we were 18.
Yes, we've been married for 11.5 years.
Yes.
We broke the statistic. We got married basically.
I thought you were going to say we broke up. I'm like, we've never broke up.
We got married basically straight out of high school, and we're still together. We're the minority.
I think we're very much in love.
We're all right.
We are together 99.9% of the time, and if we have to be separated for any amount of time, both of us are stressed out about it.
We have a toxic reliance on each other.
We do, but
it works. We're successful because of it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's only toxic if you're unhappy.
Exactly.
Don't die though. Okay?
Yeah.
Because then I'll be a mess.
Looking forward to that unalive time.
Oh.
So you can
quiet.
You can the quiet. You can get reprint permission for an image or excerpt, but not the copyright. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, you can technically buy a copyright from someone. You can buy the intellectual property rights to anything.
It's just very expensive depending on what it is.
Yeah, depending on what it is. And a lot of companies just won't give it to you.
For those who create within the bookish realm, author Sarah J. Maas, I'm a big fan. Got Mark to read Court of Thorns and Roses series with me and loved it. She's going to have a Hulu series, Court of Thorns and Roses, coming out. But Sarah J. Maas is really easy to license with, apparently, for Etsy sellers. I believe that you can do it through her website if you ever want to create products from her very popular book series, because you should do it now before it turns into a Hulu series, because after Hulu officially owns it, it likely won't be as easy to get licensing.
Thanks for your tip about Pinterest earlier. I have asked because I have used Pinterest in the last month and a half, but not much feedback, at least in Etsy stats. Maybe you can give us a video in detail in the future.
Let me figure it out a little more first.
Yeah, we're still working on it, and that's also a lot of content that's like HAA oriented.
Yeah, just remember the whole thing I said in our 14 time wasters, where I said to make sure that you're actually relying on experts. I'm an Etsy expert. I'm an SEO expert. I can answer any Etsy SEO question that you throw at me, as long as it's something that we have evidence for, because obviously we don't exactly know how Etsy's algorithm works, but we do know a bit about it. Nobody knows how it works. That's what the point of an algorithm. When it comes to social media, I am relatively proficient in Instagram, but Pinterest, I'm still experimenting with. And that's why I opened all these new accounts, so I can experiment with them. And at this time, I can use my broad knowledge of neuromarketing, of social media marketing, of, design, to be able to guide you in things that are aesthetically pleasing. But when it comes to the back end of Pinterest, which I assume is one of the main components that's going to determine whether or not your pin is successful.
Yeah, it's my favorite part.
Design will be half. The brainy back end stuff will be half. And I know the design stuff. I don't know the brainy back end stuff. So it would be better for you to find a coach specifically who specializes in Pinterest to learn from for that. So I could make content on it, but it will never be as deep as somebody who only dedicates their life to Pinterest 24/7.
There are people who are literally just like they sit on their phones on Pinterest all day.
Yeah.
When is Mark going to start his DDR play series? Never, because a big chubby guy playing DDR is not fun to watch.
However,
I am extremely good at it.
However, he sent me a photo. I was at the arcade with him yesterday, but I was over at the tables it's on my laptop working. And he sent me a photo of the screen where he has your like high score for the
there was a couple of songs. I did 3 in a row where I broke the local record for the doubles.
And we have people like who get together just to do this.
They travel there's people that live here that travel the country. I'm in a Discord for it. There's like 800 people for Ohio. That's great. We've been married 50 years.
We're on our way.
Well, I don't know if we'll make it that far.
Oh yeah, we're gonna call it. We always say, like, every time we hit an anniversary, we're like, you think it's about time to call it quits? Yeah, we'll stick around one more year.
We'll hit 50 and we'll call F it 50s, and then we'll just separate at 50 years.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
That's enough. We'll be sick of each other by then, for sure.
For sure.
We have a similar relationship to you two. We met at work and loved working together and gelled so well. Yeah. Reminds me of my husband sometimes that Mark isn't an asshole. You don't know that. You don't know what I'm like when this camera's off.
My favorite thing that he does now is when we go to any drive-through window.
Oh my God, I love it.
Especially like Dunkin' Donuts. And they'll be like, here's your food. He'll go, yes, chef. And then he'll drive away.
No, so they ask me a question. It's only when they ask me a question like, oh, you ordered this, right? Yes, chef. Did you want the foam on your coffee? Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
Because what's funny about it is it's not offensive in any way whatsoever.
They don't acknowledge it. I have never once had someone acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Though I've seen the smirks and the smiles. I just try to get people to smile. It's fun.
It's a completely innocent, hilarious thing that they don't catch right away. But they're sitting there like after we drive away. And
they're thinking about it. All day. I've made their entire day. Let's see. We're at like conversation fun time. Serious questions are almost over here. We'll kill it at 1:30. Licensing for books. What do I need to hold it up in court? Is it enough if I screenshot emails from the author allowing it, or do I need something official?
The author is not enough. The author technically, unless they are a self-published author, it is the publishing company who owns the book. And if it's a book like, for example, Harry Potter, Warner Brothers also owns the rights to the movie franchise.
So it depends on where you're pulling your IP from.
Exactly. And if you create a Harry Potter themed product, for example, Warner Brothers is likely the one who would get you, even if you're like creating something directly referenced from the book that isn't in the movies. If you use Harry Potter in your tags, titles, or if the product, is visibly Harry Potter, then it would be Warner Brothers who would likely pursue you. For authors, you typically have to go through the publishing company. If they have licensing available, start at the publishing company and ask. And then if it's through the author, they'll let you know, unless the author is self-published. I'm self-published because I wanted to retain all rights to my property. Publishing companies aren't as important anymore now that authors have the ability to market themselves, because basically what a publisher is going to do is it's going to get your book. They're going to take the hard part out of the marketing of your book and getting your book shelved. So one of the only things that I missed out on is getting my book on shelves by going through a publisher. But there's a chance that my book would have never been picked up by a publisher to begin with, and I would have had to wait years for that review process. So, yeah. We're learning all kinds of stuff today. I am in the Library of Congress, though.
Official.
Official.
If I buy images from Etsy and get permission from the sellers to use in my own products, What if they were the ones that infringed on IP? Can I get in trouble even though I got permission? Yeah.
Yeah. If you bought
double whammy.
If you buy Mickey Mouse designs from somebody on
Still
Etsy,
a Mickey Mouse design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You will get in trouble.
Due diligence.
It's like if you receive stolen property type thing, you know what I mean? Like you still get in trouble for I don't know how drug rules work and stealing and stuff. Do you get in trouble if somebody sells you stolen property, you also get in trouble, right? That's how it works.
Yes.
Okay. Just making, I don't know.
An accessory. Somebody's saying they're did we answer? Oh, okay. Got it. I sell letters from characters like Draco Malfoy. Congratulations on your birthday, but not Harry Potter.
That'll still.
That's still because a couple of people were still saying that that's not appropriate. We had somebody email us not that long ago too.
Yeah, no characters
about it. You can't use characters. If you want to do something like that, do that kind of thing on your own website. Don't do it on Etsy.
Well, even then, you could get a lawsuit and a cease and desist. You cannot use anything that belongs to someone else that you didn't come up with. You could only use your own original characters if you don't have a license. It's against the law.
Oh, Crappy Crafter said you can do a live without editing. My husband would get canceled after 15 minutes. Yeah, I mean, I'm a good character. Let's see. You're a nice person. Deal with it.
Oh,
well, we love you. So I write to a company, hey, I'd like to use this. May I? If they say yes, that's enough. No fancy official form.
They will have a fancy official form.
Yeah. they'll have a fancy official form. They'll probably have something that you have to sign and send back, that kind of thing. And it depends on how big the company is. If you're talking about Warner Brothers, you're not going to get a message back. They're going to laugh.
And if they don't have a fancy official form, then you need to message them and say, great, can I get this in writing?
Yeah. Can I get it in writing?
Because they will need to issue you an actual license.
But very, very big chance you message somebody like Warner Brothers or whoever actually prints Harry Potter now. They probably just have the printer sitting, right over top of the shredder, so it prints and then goes right into the shredder.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not looking at messages. They're too busy. I've had that happen with my designs. They were recreated and sold. The person who recreated it and everyone they sold it to and got it and used it got dinged on Etsy. Got it. We're celebrating 43 years this year. High school sweethearts too. Married at 18, so 47 years together, and you still haven't killed each other. Yeah, I don't know how you do it. We nearly throw hands on a daily basis.
Throw hands.
No, many publishing companies do very little publication for their writers. Yeah. Boop, 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 boo. Oh, that was me. I'm asking all those annoying questions on how to get permission. No, we get it. You're doing your due diligence. You're trying to figure out what you can and can't get away with. We understand. You're writing a very, very fine line. You really can't use characters. And if you're going to do it anyway, don't do it on Etsy and don't do it on your website as a listing. Like, here's a letter from Draco. Do it as like here's a custom letter that I write. Tell me who you want the letter from. Don't use any specifics. And then
but that's still not legal.
It's still not legal. Still not telling you to do it. But if you're going to do it anyway, get good at doing things the wrong way.
Yeah, we can't tell you what you can't do, but don't get in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. Just do what you can to not get in trouble. Do the right thing. Don't infringe on other people's personal property. Whatever. You get it. I'm tired.
All right.
I need a sandwich.
Hey, guys, I've got a free workshop. There's no sales pitch in it, and it's linked down below.
It is linked down below.
It is called The Science of Etsy Success. I spent like 4 days straight on it, though it's only 24 minutes long. It's packed with Etsy search ranking information and information about how to appeal to the Etsy machine. So if you've ever been confused about Etsy, I promise you, this 𝔬𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕒 is so good that even my 10-year-old child could sit and watch it and understand it. So it is very step-by-step and easy and digestible and fun. I added cartoons in it. So make sure that you check. It's fun. So check that out down below. Make that your weekend planned. You're really going to enjoy it. And then you also want to check my channel. I did a really great trend video this last Tuesday that talks. Yeah, it was awesome. It talks about some of the top trends that we can expect to see through summer, but it also talks about how to find trends. It's great.
Where is it linked? Can't find it.
What? Down in the video description.
Did you forget it again? Because
No.
you're really good at that.
Nope, sure didn't. It's in the video description. You have to open the description.
We're gonna
If you're
find
on
out.
mobile, it's hard to open the description while the chat is on.
It is.
He can get it for
There's
you.
still 150 people in here. Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm gonna go into the description. Shush, you shut your mouth, Starla.
That one.
This one?
Yes, that one.
It's the very first link. It's a bit.ly link with a little rocket ship.
Yes. You got it. So go watch that. Let me know what you think of it. It's something completely new, unlike anything I've ever done before. So really excited.
And there is no sales pitch at the end of it. It is a good teaser for what her teaching style is like if you are interested in buying HA in the future, but no sales pitch on this one.
No. Other little bits, guys, we also have an alpha interview coming out this Sunday. You're going to learn how one of our handmade alphas sells poop on Etsy, which I'm not giving you any context because I want you to
it's poop on Etsy. That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. And you're going to want to watch it because but despite the fact that the name sounds gross, it's very inspiring and it's not gross at all. So watch for that this upcoming Sunday around noon, I think 12:15 Eastern, that'll be posting. And then this upcoming Tuesday, I have a video coming out that's going to teach you how to set up Google Analytics for your Etsy shop. This is very important for advanced tracking. You're going to want to make sure that you turn on Google Analytics for your Etsy shop because you can see more precise data that Etsy doesn't provide. You can see how many people are in your shop at that very second. It's kind of creepy. You can like watch people enter your shop and it's weird. But that's going to teach you how to get that all set up. And I don't know, my Etsy course is opening in June 14th, Handmade Alpha Academy. There's a waiting list link in the description. If you're able to open that description up, feel free to sign up for that. It doesn't obligate you to buy, but it does ensure that you get our big discount.
And it's a great course.
That's an understatement.
Over 600 people.
I don't talk good about anything that I do. We were talking about my book that I like put my blood, sweat, and tears into, literally cried writing it. I don't hate it.
She hates it.
I don't hate it.
She hates it.
But my course, when I see that we have sellers who make six figures and are able to hire employees and literally
live on their own. We have people that are literally
full-time
like
sellers
since joining have hit them at least $1 million.
That's like it works. So feel free to join the waiting list. That opens June 14th through June 24th, but it is a self-paced course. You can June 14th through 24th. It's self-paced. You can go in and watch it anytime.
You get it for life. All upgrades are free.
And there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. And if you want to buy my book, The Channel by Starla _, it hasn't had any sales in a while other than just now. So you can get it on Amazon. Walmart.com.
Haven't really been pushing it. Been too busy.
Yeah, I've been too busy.
Buy it. It's a good book. I don't like to read. I enjoyed it.
Buy it. There's lots of funny scenes in it. I mean, you will fall in love with my characters. And I've got an Instagram for it at Explore the Channel. I've got a website for it, explorethechannel.com. I've got merch for it. And I have a Facebook group where it's kind of quiet right now because nobody's really new reading it. Everybody's already read it. But if you find my group, it's Channel Jumpers.
Yeah.
Channel Jumpers, official Channel Jumpers.
I think that's
group.
what it is.
Yeah. So lots of fun. And there's cybernetics. And if you like neon noir, kind of cyberpunky, then you'll enjoy it.
You missed my questions above, except
I don't see it. Can you grab it?
We didn't forget your question. If there was a link or something referring to a social media platform, then it's not going to be there because it'll automatically get blocked.
Yeah, YouTube might have blocked it. We'll wait like 1 second if you are able to type it back in.
Yeah, very quickly.
But if there's
no links, don't say Instagram, Insta, don't try to abbreviate, none of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, if you would need to use the word Instagram, type in the word pomegranate as a substitute for Instagram, because we had to block the word Instagram because of bots that would come to our account and say, follow something hacks on Instagram to get your Etsy account recovered. And we were literally getting like 1,000 comments.
I'll give it till like 1:35. That'll give it 2 minutes because there's a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, there is a little.
What are we going to eat for lunch? We'll talk about what we're going to eat for lunch while we wait for them.
Well, I want to go out to lunch and then I need to get back and record our Google Analytics video. But
okay, hurry up.
Oh, God. It's been a crazy Friday already.
It has been a crazy Friday. I'm going to take a freaking nap. I'm going to eat some food and take a friggin' nap.
Yep. Kiddo's going to my mom's this weekend. Going to have a quiet house. Going to go hiking tomorrow because it's going to be hot outside. Get out of the house. I have been working every day from the moment I wake up until like between like 10 to 11 o'clock at night. I am so burned, guys. I am so ready for HAA. That we're doing a big Handmade Alpha Academy reboot. We're editing all these alpha interviews. We're doing videos every Tuesday. I've got my live stream on Thursday with E-Rank. Then we're here for the Friday Bean. I've got to restock my content calendar. Like, Starla is very, very tired.
Can we say the gram? Yes, you can.
The gram should be fine.
The gram is fine.
Yeah, I don't think we've blocked the gram. You guys getting sick of those the bots on Instagram that are
good God, they're obnoxious.
Promote it on Etsy Market, DM it on Etsy Market, send pic to blah blah blah. Pomegranate videos have been performing poorly suddenly, and I've been trying to figure out why.
Have they?
Is it just in feed or is it your reels? Reels should still be doing well.
All right. We're officially at 1:35. I'll give it like another 30 seconds. I got a sandwich.
Gotta have a sandwich. Being an ambassador. I hate those posts. Yeah, that drives me crazy. I get the questions all the time.
They're
the gram
awful.
bots are crazy. I always wondered if I should delete them or if it hurts you.
There it is. And also, my band's working on a
Delete
cover,
them.
on a fun cover. We're working on a wave song from the 80s. It's
All
gonna
right.
be fun. If you sell both digital prints and physical items in one Etsy shop, would you advertise both digital prints and physical on Pinterest
And the gram? Yeah, absolutely.
Why not?
Just make sure that you make it clear. I would put maybe even like a little thing right on the photo that says digital download for the digital items. But yeah, totally.
Or you're keeping me from my sandwich. And when people keep me from my sandwich, she has a bad day. Or separate both digital and pin physical only on the gram.
No, you can keep them together.
Let Mark eat. Yeah, let's get a hashtag let Mark eat.
No, you're fine.
I'm just messing with you, dude. I don't care.
he likes the belly. All right.
We love you guys. Enjoy your weekend. Drink some water. Call somebody you love. Spend some time outside, especially if you're in the Midwest. It's going to be freaking 81 here tomorrow.
So warm.
Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like button, and we will see you on Tuesday with a new video.
Buy my book.
Read this book. Even if you don't want to buy a physical book, we don't care. Take the time to read it. It's a good book. If you're not into sci-fi, get the ebook. It's everywhere.
You can buy